Hello everybody, it's good to see you again. So you all asked for it. You wanted a video all about reels and how to make your own reel. So here it is, a video all about reels. Let's do it. First things first, what is a reel? A reel is a short compilation of clips that an actor has acted in. It's a part of the holy trinity of things you need to market yourself as an actor. The other two being your headshot and your resume. So, depending on how far along you are in your acting career, this could either be very easy or very hard to put a reel together. But don't worry, I have steps for wherever you are in your acting career. That way you can have something that looks decent that you can present to agents and managers and casting directors and get some dang jobs. Part 1. Get the footage. So my very first piece of advice, the thing that I would start with for those of you who don't have footage, is I was in your same place in 2012. I'd done a couple commercials, but they were all getting older at that point. So by the end of college, I wanted to have an acting reel. So I gave myself 4 years to shoot projects with friends and otherwise before actually putting a reel together. So in other words, take the time if you need to. It was greatest decision I ever made. I encourage you to do student films and do scenes with friends or sketches. Just audition for tons of unpaid copy and credit projects and get a reel together that way. But for those of you who need a reel as fast as possible, here's what I recommend. Find 2 or 3 monologues or short scenes. They should each be about a minute in length. Also, the scenes should be something that you can realistically play. Be sure to read each of the full scripts that the scenes are from. Then, memorize your scenes. Once you have your scenes memorized, record yourself in a quiet room on a non-distracting background and with good lighting. Try to use a 3-point lighting setup if you can. Here's my lighting setup. All right, gang, so over here we have our key light right over there, our fill light is right over there, and then our backlight is over there. So again, 3 lighting points. That's a more expensive light, but you don't need to have that right now. We could also use ones that aren't quite as expensive, and that's just fine. There are a ton of really amazing lighting guides online that I highly suggest you follow. In fact, one that I watched to kind of put this whole lighting setup together is linked down below. Once you've recorded all your scenes, you have some footage. And for the rest of you who've already shot some projects and are having trouble pulling the footage, we're gonna talk about that. Almost all student films offer a copy and credit, but not every project will give you a copy of the work that you're in. So if I'm speaking to those of you who already have done projects and you don't know quite how to pull the footage, you need to start getting familiar with screen rippers like OBS, which is a screen recording software, or Clip Converter, which can download YouTube videos. You need to start getting creative with how to pull footage from the projects you're already in, because in a lot of instances, you may not be able to exactly just reach out to the people at Hulu for footage of you. You're gonna actually have to figure out how to pull your own footage and go from there. If you have enough current footage that looks good and sounds good, then all you need is some nice editing software, free or otherwise, to throw it all together. But we're not just gonna throw it in there willy-nilly. I have a couple of rules for you to follow. Part 2, real rules. Number 1, keep it under 2 minutes. Casting directors do not have the time or the patience to look or watch your 6-minute monologue that you put up there. So just don't do that. Also, Actors Access charges by the minute, so you actually have an incentive to keep your reel short. And for those of you who are starting out your acting career, go short. Short and sweet is totally fine. People completely understand that. I feel like my first reel was anywhere from like a minute to a minute 20. It might have even been under a minute, and that's fine. All right, number 2, vary the footage. So I know that you did that one super sick job that's really cool, but you can't have your entire reel being dominated by just one clip or just one project. It makes it look like all you've done is that one project. So if you have longer clips, make sure they're no more than 30 seconds in length, and then vary it up with maybe another couple 15-second clips. And then you're good. It really should not be that hard to edit these. Real rule number 3, don't use old footage. Gosh, I feel like I've talked about this so many different times, but don't use really, really old footage of yourself. It just doesn't look good, and I don't know, have a shorter reel. Just don't put like old footage of yourself. Number 4, music is optional. I've seen a couple different reels that use like a soundtrack in the background or something to kind of keep the tempo. While that may work for some people and some type of reels, I just am not really too much of a fan of it, so music is optional. I wouldn't say you have to have some cool soundtrack to set your reel to. I like to let each scene kind of breathe and have its own space. And whether or not that's hurt me, I don't really know. So it works for me. All right, number 5, we need to know what you look and sound like right now. Extra work doesn't count. We wanna see and hear you. This is all about marketing you. It's not about marketing Robert Downey Jr. while you're in the background. So no extra work. We need stuff about you. Number 6, contact info. Be sure to have your name, height, union status, location, agency, and contact info. If you don't have an agent or if you're non-union, that's fine, just use your contact info. And make sure you have a professional email, okay? Don't use like bonglord69 at thedumpster.hotmail.edu or whatever the hell. Just have a professional email. Alrighty, number 7. You can make a reel for different types of things. If you're into fighting or parkour or a special skill, you can make a reel specifically catered to that. If you're a good dancer, you can make something catered to that. You see where I'm going here? I think at a certain point in time, once I have enough footage of myself and I've done enough comedic and dramatic parts, I may even split my reels into a more like commercial side, more like funny, and a more dramatic reel. But right now, I just have the one. Number 8, put your best foot forward. Keep in mind that people watching this do not know you. This is gonna be the first time they've ever seen you. So whatever you do with your reel, whether or not you have footage, or you're shooting something on your own, or you're doing work with friends, you really need to make sure that it's professional and looks as good as you can make it at that time. People who don't know you, they're not your best friends. They're looking to hire you. So you really gotta put your best foot forward. Take your time with all this. All right, we know the rules, we have our footage. It's time to edit this bad boy. So, seeing as I already have a reel, I figured I would make a reel for Danny DeVito. The first thing we need to do is create a folder with all of our clips in it, and then make a new project in whatever editing software we're using. From here, all I'm doing is finding clips that stand out on their own. Today I use scenes from the Kaminsky Method, Dumbo, and It's Always Sunny. My intention was to show a couple different sides of Mr. DeVito without taking up too much time. And these clips are all recent because casting directors need to know what he looks and sounds like now. Again, because we're remembering our real rules. So, unfortunately, that means no penguin.
I've been down here too long. It's time for me to ascend.
The issues that came up while I was editing this only really had to do with sound and choosing the clip order, and resizing the clips to make sure they look good. If two clips sound awkward when they're put next to each other, try ramping down the audio at the end of the first clip and ramping up at the beginning of the next. I decided to do my clip order as follows: a clip of Danny as the antagonist, a semi-serious clip, and then a funny clip to end it on. I followed it up by adding cards to the beginning and the end of the reel. Once that was done, I exported to H.264, upped the bitrate to the desired quality, and there you go. Danny DeVito has a reel. I'll link the whole thing below. Also, it's worth mentioning, some casting profiles have issues with large file sizes, so if you need a smaller file size, just lower the bitrate in your export settings. And don't worry if your reel's not perfect, it's totally fine. This is just like anything, you just have to practice and you'll get better in time. But in the meantime, hopefully, this is enough for you to get started. All right, so that about does it. Let me know in the comments below what kind of video you'd like me to do next. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. You know the drill, everybody. It really helps me out. And for the rest of you who need some more acting tips, I have a whole acting playlist on my channel where I cover things from analyzing a script to how to move to LA and make that big move. Please watch any of those videos there before you ask me a question that I've already answered. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bullshit.